welcome back to Race Recap. My name is Jackson. Today we will be doing preseason part number 2, looking at our open wheel series, IndyCar, and Formula 1. So let's start with the 2022 NTT IndyCar schedule. See, there are a few channel changes over there on the right of your screen. Anything not on USA or Peacock will be all on NBC, so watch out for that. Their first race will be on the streets of St. Petersburg, just coming up a couple weeks after the Daytona 500, February 27th. Also, they'll be going over to the streets of Toronto. They were unable to go there last year due to COVID, but glad to see them going back there this year. Also, going back to Iowa Speedway. That's an oval track for 2 races. Of course, going back to the famous streets of Nashville, crossing over the bridge. And, of course, the Indy 500, May 29th. So, there are a good amount of new drivers coming into the series. Starting off in the number 11 car, Titina Calderon will be running a partial schedule, most likely just the road courses and street courses. Her teammate, though, the 14 of Kyle Kirkwood, will be running full-time in the NTT IndyCar Series. The 28 will be Romain Grosjean this year. Ryan Hunter-Reay has stepped away from IndyCar, and Romain Grosjean, who was in the 51 last year, will take his spot in the number 28. Devlin DeFrancesco will be in the number 29. James Hinchcliffe left IndyCar after using that spot last year. Jimmy Johnson ran about all the road course races last year, and he's going to try to go full-time this year. So look forward to seeing him, hopefully, in the Indy 500. We also saw the 77 of Callum Ilott last year. He'll be going full-time as well this year. The 60 will be Simon Pagenaud this year. He'll be stepping away from the number 22. Elio Castroneves, who ran select races last year, will now be going full-time as Simon Pagenaud's teammate. Christian Lundgaard, who ran a couple races toward the end of the last year's season, will be in the number 30. Takuma Sato will be leaving that. The 45 will be Jack Harvey, who he left the number 60, and will be in the 45 this year. David Malikos will be in the number 18 this year, replacing Ed Jones, who stepped away. And lastly, the 51, which was Romain Grosjean last year, will be Takuma Sato. Alright, so now let's move on to the F1 series. It's going to be a pretty good schedule. Of course, this is subject to change, never know. But if you want to pause it, take a look. There'll be 23 races, and you'll see Abu Dhabi, once again, the last race, but this time it'll be in mid-November, not December. So they've changed that up by almost a month. And also, of course, everyone knows it probably, they'll be going to Miami this year, and they'll still be going to Austin, Texas, so they'll be in the United States twice. Saudi Arabia, which was the next to last race last year, will now be the second race this year. Of course, they'll be starting in Bahrain in the middle of March. Also, they'll be going back to Australia and Singapore this year, and Japan as well. Alright, so looking at the IndyCar, or the F1 drivers, there are a pretty good amount of changes for just a small series of 20 drivers. So Alfa Romeo, both Alfa Romeo drivers, Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi, have both stepped away. So Valtteri Bottas, who was at Mercedes last year, will be in the number 77 for Alfa Romeo this year. And then Guy Zheng Zhao is the first Chinese driver to pilot an F1 car. He'll be in the number 24 in Alfa Romeo. Of course, George Russell will be leaving Williams and heading over to be Lewis Hamilton's teammate at Mercedes. He filled in there a few seasons ago at Abu Dhabi and had a pretty good race. So we'll see him in the number 63. And taking his spot, Nicholas Latifi is still going to be there at Williams in the number 6. But also, Alexander Albon will be in the number 23 Williams car. He was at Williams a couple seasons ago and will be returning this year. And also, not a driver change, but a number change. Max Verstappen in the 33 will no longer be the 33. He will be the number 1 car. He's also number 1. Not sure if he chose that on purpose, but it is that way. Well, that's all for Race Recap this time. Come join us in just a few days when we'll be doing preseason, the final part number 3, looking at the ARCA Menard Series drivers. And late-breaking news here, I have decided once again to recap another series, but I can't tell you yet, so you'll have to tune in next time when we look at that series along with the ARCA Series.